Booyah.
I think we're good, man.
Yeah.
Jay.
What's up, brother?
Appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Definitely.
Finally in the space. It's a beautiful space. So anyway, so look, the name of this show, podcast, whatever you want to call it, is pretty much Barber Straight Talk.
Okay.
Okay, Barber Straight Talk, and the reason why I picked the name is because I want to have conversations with not only people of influence in the barber industry, but also people that are outside of the barber industry that can impact and influence barbers as well.
Absolutely.
People that are that can help in a financial way, how to invest money. I think there's a huge lack of financial literacy in the barber industry.
It's true.
And I think, anyways, but the point is that I want to have honest conversations, and I want us to just be completely brutally honest with what we think is going on in the industry today, what we think barbers need to do different, and whatever other topics that we may cover.
Yep.
I just want to have a straight conversation, you know.
Be real.
Not exactly.
Yeah.
Just be real, just because you know, all that nonsense stuff. So without further ado, man, I just want to appreciate you taking the time. And also I want to I just want to kind of like give you some compliments as well, because you've been doing your thing for a while.
It's been like over 20 years.
20 years, yeah. So I did a very brief research.
The company, but like,
on
like
you,
10
but
years
you started cutting hair when you were a teenager, pretty much, right?
Yeah, like 16 years old.
16 years old. So you've been doing your thing for, I don't know how old you are now, but you know, 20 plus years.
Like 40 years old.
Aside from, I actually, dude, the first time I came across you was your YouTube channel.
Okay.
And you were still cutting hair. I'm assuming this was in Yonkers.
Yep.
And there was one of the videos where you were teaching how to shave with a straight razor with a balloon.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah. So I at that time I think I had just either joined barber school.
Nice.
Or I was already like, you know.
Also, you see me in the beginning.
In the beginning, yeah. So I saw you from way back when. So I just want to congratulate you for all the work that you've been doing for yourself, obviously, and I'm assuming you do this also for your family.
Yeah, of course.
And just the content, the information that you provide to barbers. So appreciate you. I'm sure a lot of people would want to thank you in person.
Of course,
So I guess I'm just an extension of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So appreciate it
Definitely.
on all levels. But before we get into, I guess, some really good juicy stuff in terms of like the barbering business and stuff. Mm-hmm. I think a lot of people know the brand of EZBLADE, but they don't know exactly the beginnings, the early beginnings, or how you got started.
Yeah.
And then for my own sake and just out of pure curiosity, I will ask you some questions as well in terms of like how you got started with the brand and everything. But I guess we can start the whole conversation in the early days, man. Like you know, how old were you when you first started cutting hair, and what was the transition? What was the thought process of like, you know, I want to pursue this, and then we can, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the crazy part is with the whole cutting hair thing. There's always a funny story because people always, whenever they ask me, it's just weird. I grew up in the Bronx, you know, pretty tough neighborhood, whatever it is. I said this a couple of times in a couple of interviews, and one day, me and my friend were walking past a bus stop, and we saw a bag on the floor. You know, it was like somebody left the bag there, and we were like, "You think that's money?" We were like, 14 years, just a book bag.
Oh, okay.
We were like 15, 14 years old, and we're like, "Think that's money or something?" You know, kids interested in what's going on. I guess somebody left the bag there. It's like, "You take it, I'll take it. You take it, I'll take it." You know, going back and forth, and then we just took the bag. We go home. We think they were clippers, bro.
No shit.
Yeah, so everybody's like, "Yo, that's crazy," because that's like destined or something like that, you know. Wow. And then what happened with those clippers? They were a pair of Andis Masters and an Andis TI liner, so they're actually professional clippers.
Yeah.
Now that I look back at the neighborhood, there was a barber shop that was like literally right in front of the bus stop.
Found it.
Yeah, so whoever that guy is, I mean, I wish I can give him back his clippers. Well, give him some money because he started my career basically. And then I went home, just started cutting my own hair, and then I got good at it. I was messing it up, and then people were like, "Who did that?" I did it. Give me a haircut. And
How old were you at this point?
About 15, 16 years old.
16.
Yeah, yep, crazy. And I started cutting all the neighborhood kids and stuff like that, and that's how I ended up becoming a barber. And then one day a guy that used to let me practice on him, he's like, you should go to a shop. And I'm like, you think so? And I went to a shop, and of course it wasn't what I thought it was. A shop is way more brutal than your friends, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I didn't know how to really fade like that.
Yeah.
And I just learned from the school of the hard knocks. I never went to like barber school or anything like that. So I basically learned like the hard way. There was no YouTube. We talking about like 1998, 99.
Damn, man.
No YouTube, nothing like that.
How old are you, bro?
I'm 40, bro.
Hey, you look young, man.
Yeah, thanks, man.
You look like you're 30.
Cardio, yeah.
All that boxing,
yeah, exactly, yeah. So, yeah, bro. So.
That's dope, man. That's I guess that's
Crazy
a
story.
more traditional, like, something happens when you're a teen, or you get introduced, or you have an uncle that's a barber, or have a barber shop, or you have somebody that you know, and then you just around barbers and stuff.
Yeah. So I didn't go to school or anything like that. So my come up was kind of hard, you know what I mean? So
what so from the moment you started cutting hair at the shop, how long was the process until you were like, all right, cool, like I can
get a shop?
I think I can do this for a living, or like I enjoy this, like I wanna give this a shot.
So what happened to me was, I guess I used to work in these little like regular neighborhood shops, and pretty much people that I saw were not really making money like that. The haircuts were so cheap, and I wasn't gaining any clientele. So I was getting like different jobs, and then starting to cut, leave a job, go back to cut, and I was going back and forth. And what I can say to anybody out there is to stay consistent. And then one day, like I left my job, and I was like, I gotta find another shop and do this like full time. So I went inside like the yellow pages. That's how old school this is. And I found a barbershop like a few miles away, and I went there, and it was my boy G. He owns a barbershop named Star Cuts. Okay. So he's still there to this day. This is like 20 years ago. And I want to say I was like 18, 19. And I went to that shop, and I seen this dude, he had money. He was charging $20 a haircut, which was crazy back then. $20, $25. No, it was in a nice area. It was in Throsneck, part of the Bronx, which is like a decent part of the Bronx, which is nice. Okay. Yeah. So he was charging a lot more money, and I saw that there was money in it. And at that point, that's when I really stuck with cutting hair, because I saw people that were making good money on that side of the Bronx. They were cutting like rappers, and like I saw there was a lot of money. I'll see this kid coming home with $300-$400, and I was like, that's a lot of money back then. In one day.
Oh, hell yeah.
I mean, if I'm working all week, if I'm working all week and making $200 in a regular job, $175.
Exactly. $6 an hour.
Yeah, bro. So think about it.
I mean, even today, like depending who you ask, $300 a day is still
good. It's still good. Yeah, a lot of people sleep on barbers. I tell my guys here all the time that a lot of people sleep on barbers and don't get caught up in that. Barbers make money, and it's the best kept secret. I would say keep it like that, if anything.
Yeah.
You just got to pay taxes if you want to. If you want things,
I guess we'll get into that.
You got to pay taxes.
But there's definitely ways to kind of jump, avoid certain things and whatnot, and kind of. Anyways, we'll get more into the financial stuff later. But that's dope, man. So you pretty much. What it sounds like, it was like it kind of was supposed to be, right? It was one of those things where.
Thankfully, I'm thankful that it happened.
Forgot what word I'm actually looking for, but it was meant to be in one way or another. Yes, destined to become a barber.
Absolutely.
So you're working at a shop at this point. You're charging $20 an hour. I mean, I'm sorry, $20 a cut.
Yep.
Right. How long did it take for you to not only get to a point where you were like, one, I can do my own thing, but then two, it's like I'm making good money now, but I can make more if I take a little bit more risk. Yeah. Right. And then, what was the thought process of like, I got this money, like, what do I do with it?
Yeah. Well, I've always been like I don't want to call it a hustler, but I've always been an entrepreneur. Like I always wanted to do my own thing. So at the time when I was working with this guy, I actually opened up like a little store, like a little DVD store. Remember back in the day, they used to have those like DVDs, like those. Yeah, those DVD stands. Yeah, DVD stands and stuff like that. So I had something like that. So I've always been an entrepreneur. So I always had it in my mind that I want to go do my own thing. And then the guy that I was working with, he always told me from the beginning, like, if you can't hold down a barbershop by yourself, then you're not ready for a barbershop, because barbers come and go. Yeah. You can't depend on barbers. Yeah. In this location, actually, when I decided to open this up, I didn't know any barbers, and I came here and just worked it by myself because I knew I can do it. Right. You know what I mean? I would just say once they have the talent, then they can say, I can be able to do. And of course, location and stuff like that. Yeah.
So you only had one shop prior to this one?
Yep, one shop. And I had that shop for 10 years.
10 years?
Yep.
So what was the thought process right before, like when you made that decision to open that shop?
I had some money because I'm all about, like I said, I've always been an entrepreneur. I'm all about sacrifice. So I've always saved money. Like I've always saved 60% of my money, 70% of my money. So even in my whole 20s, I was going away, going out and partying, but I always...
But you had some sort of responsibility.
Friends that I had probably thought I was broker, if that's a word, I don't even know, broker. A little more broke than they probably thought I didn't have any money, right?
Right.
Because I was always sacrificing, I was always saving, and I'm always like that to this day. So I've always sacrificed. So I had the money, it was just a matter of just...
But you wanted more.
I wanted more. And I was in the Bronx, and there was so many barbershops in the Bronx. There was a barbershop on every corner. Every block you go to, there's like three shops. I was I want to go somewhere different, so I ended up in Westchester, which is Yonkers. I ended up in Yonkers. So I went out there and opened up a shop. I just went on Craigslist at the time and looked for a location.
And stuff.
And I was probably like 26, 24, 25, 26.
Wow.
Yeah, so I work with my guys at... I worked with them for about 6-7 years with the dude that I'm talking about. I worked with him for like 6-7 years. So from 19 to like 25.
I got you.
And
then you went off to do your own thing. What was, if you can remember that far back, what was some of your most surprising things when you first opened the shop, like that you weren't expecting?
So when I got the shop, it was tough because the building I was in, they wanted me to obtain a C of O for the building. Like usually the landlord, now that I know that now, the landlord is supposed to provide that. So I had to go through like the whole city and get permits and all this stuff I didn't even know nothing about. So I learned the hard way on that. That was probably the most surprising thing. And then other than that, I pretty much knew what I was doing because I had the experience. I think a lot of people want to run as soon as like they get in the industry, especially now with all the influencers. Everybody's like a superstar already. Everybody's like they're a professional barber. But there's a lot of, you need experience, you know what I mean, before you start.
Yeah, experience. I mean,
I think experience is
one of the things that I kind of talk about through my content. It's like, well, number one, you can actually make 6 figures without even owning a barbershop.
Yeah,
like,
I've seen that. Yeah.
Like you can do it.
Yeah.
I think there's a huge misconception. In the industry of like, not only do you have to go out and do your own thing, but you have to have a barbershop. You have to own all the liabilities and do all the stuff. So even working under someone, and let's just say, I mean, let's be real. Like barbershops don't have managers really.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's just the owner and everyone else for themselves, pretty much, or they're kind of like following what they do.
Exactly.
But nonetheless, if you're kind of planning ahead and you have that mentality, you're paying attention to things that I would say probably most barbers are not paying attention to.
Exactly.
Right. I think one of the things I remember when I was cutting hair out of a barber, my first and only barbershop that I've ever worked out of, I would pay attention to so many small little things that, like for instance, like when somebody walked in, I would pay attention to how people greeted that person, right? Regardless of, if they were walk-ins or had appointments. Like how are you interacting with the clients during the consultation, like throughout the whole haircut, like the energy in the atmosphere, like the whole energy of the vibe, the whole, you know what I mean? So I would pay attention to, because the place that I used to work at, they had 2 different owners. One was a barber, but one wasn't. So I would try to pick up on certain things that the non-barber owner was doing versus the other. So I'm sure you can relate while you were working in the barbershop over there. You were just picking
It's funny,
up.
the first barbershop I was at was the same way. It was like one non-barber and one barber. The non-barber would come and think he knows what he's talking about. Shout out to Dave if he sees this, I don't know. But he doesn't know. He's not in the game. He doesn't know what goes on.
He doesn't know the ins and outs and like.
It's tough. The different industry is service. So service is totally different. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure, man. So then, you've had EZBLADE for.
EZBLADE's been around
10
since
years?
2010, so we're going on almost 11 years, almost 12 years, Crazy.
That's a while, man.
It's a grind, bro. That's another thing. A lot of people, they want to have brands with the internet. Everybody thinks it's like, oh, just get a brand. There's TikTokers and YouTubers with millions of followers and millions of views, and they're just not business savvy, or they just don't, it just doesn't pop off for them because it takes time. You got
Takes
to
time,
build
man.
it. It doesn't matter
Takes
who you
time.
are. You could sell something, but the question is, will you keep people coming back? And that's one thing I always stress. If you see some of my videos, the things I talk about is like customers and customer service, how much of the customer is important, stuff like that, because you're nothing without them, you know? Stuff
Yeah, I
like
mean,
that.
you know, they can come in once, but if they don't come back,
Or they could buy your product once if you sell them junk, or
exactly.
if you don't care about
I mean,
them.
I use your products every day.
I appreciate it. Exactly, I appreciate it.
I literally
So you
do.
want them to, you want them to come back, you want them to care.
So what was the why? Because a product, especially in the barber industry, the first type of product that one would go ahead and do or pursue is hair pomades, right? Hair products, styling products. Yeah. So those are like the first ones that they would like think of. Shaving products though is obviously like an old school like product where the shaving balm and the whole shebang. But like shaving gel, right? And I would say you did a very good job, and you still do a very good job at branding yourself away from the, let's just say the cheaper ends, the lower ends, like shaving gels, the one that are clear. You know what I mean? I don't want to say.
I'm consciously doing that. I know what you're saying.
So you did a very good job, and you're still doing a very good job of kind of separating your brand with that.
And I'm glad you see that.
And so I want to, obviously if you can talk a little bit about that, and like what was the conscious decision and what exactly did you do in order to make that separation?
I mean, I would have to go back to the original, like how it all started, like how the brand started and why I even came out with a brand. I'll have to. You want me to go there now? Or?
Yeah, please.
Okay.
I mean, maybe I'm skipping. All right, skipping stories.
So the whole EZBLADE thing came about because I started off as a YouTuber. So when I opened up that shop, this is all leading into that. So when I opened up that barbershop in 2007, I opened up that barbershop that we were talking about. All I did was YouTube was around. I used to watch workout videos and stuff. You remember when YouTube was like new, it was great. And all I did was post a video of me cutting hair to promote my barbershop. Just me cutting hair.
Right.
First video.
With no audio, nothing.
Just music.
Got it.
Whatever music you wanted at that time too. You could put whatever instrumentals on there.
You would put 50 Cent.
So I'm cutting hair, exactly what I was doing. I cut hair. The first video, that's 250,000 in a day and a half, which is
the first video you posted.
The first video on one day, day and a half, that's 250,000.
Damn.
So I said,
those days are long gone.
Yeah, they long gone, bro. So I'm like, now you got TikTok. That's what TikTok is now.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh wow, what is this? You know what I'm saying? And then I do another video next day. My boy's just recording with this little camera.
But let me ask you a question. So when you saw those views, did you what did you see in those views?
Monetize.
Okay, so you already saw monetize.
I have to monetize over this. Before I even knew what an influencer was, I'm telling you, I didn't know. This is pre.
But okay, so why did you think you had an opportunity to monetize with the views? Because I mean, let's face it. I mean, this is
because I was already watching.
07, 08,
I was already watching YouTube and watching these people that had workout DVDs.
Got it.
Workout programs. I probably bought eating programs because this dude was like in crazy shape. Let me go buy an eating program from him, which was nothing but low calories. And I'm buying a sheet of paper from him, an Excel sheet or whatever it is, on how to eat for $20 from this guy. So I already had the mentality, like, damn, these dudes are killing it with this. So once I saw I had the views, I'm like, holy, no barbers were really doing it. He had like maybe 2 barbers on the internet that were doing it, and me. So the second video I put up, 350,000. The third video I put up, I'm like coming out with a DVD soon because this is still DVD era. I made my first DVD, which was Barber Quest, which taught lots of barbers. So I had a following. I started to get a following. People emailing me, asking me questions. The same thing you see nowadays.
Damn, dude.
I had the power in my hand of YouTube, like literally. And same thing. I dropped three different DVDs, and I also wrote a book.
So the DVDs you would sell online, but you would ship them.
Yeah, I'll ship them. I was already doing it. I started learning everything there. So as the DVD era started to fade away, I was saying to myself, how am I going to continue to monetize off of these people that show me love, and what can I do to make more money? And I came out with the first shave gel. A lot of people don't believe it. I was the first person with a shave gel. My company was the first company with a shave gel.
Interesting.
EZBLADE Shave Gel was the first clear shave gel. And then other companies took it and ran with it, which was cool. They had the money, they had a big brand, open up another brand, and got influencers.
Right.
I didn't know what an influencer was.
Right.
I just knew people were supporting me and supporting my product. I didn't know what an influencer was. This is pre. Now I'm learning. Oh, I'm watching them sponsor all of these guys, watching all these companies sponsor people.
Yeah.
With my idea, basically, which was cool. I wasn't, and then from there, I started doing the same thing. You learn, like you see what big brand is doing. You start a copy. And that's how we became a big brand, because the same thing, we started getting influencers and started to blow it up.
So I mean, that's the DVDs. That's a crazy story.
DVDs were going away, and I had to make a choice. What am I going to do to get residual income? Because DVD, you buy it once, you learn. I got people to this day send me DMs or see me at barber shows or like these beauty shows and like, yo, I used to watch your DVDs back in the day, man. I remember you had braids. Yeah, I used to watch you on YouTube.
That's crazy, dude. How does that make you feel?
I'm good. It makes me feel good. And I'm very humble, bro. Like, I talk to everybody. I'm not like one of these high horse. And I'm not, because we're not celebrities.
We're not, man.
We're not celebrities. Yeah. I don't know. This industry, the only thing that disgustes me in this industry is that the influencers of the industry think that they celebrities, bro. We're not celebrities. We educators, right? Because if people are coming to you, if they coming to you now on TikTok and all this stuff, and they want to learn, I'm humbled.
Yeah, that's the problem. It shows that you're providing value, right?
Exactly. But we are in a world where now, which is a good thing, right? We're in a world where everybody can be a celebrity at this point, because we see it. People go viral and they're celebrities. So it is a good thing. 100%. But I just always felt like the whole stay humble and you'll last longer, because I'm always about like the long run. I'm not about like this instant. How many companies have we seen that came around and we don't see them anymore?
Right.
I'm just all about the long run. I want EZBLADE to be here 50 years from now. My kids are like, we're still around. EZBLADE since 2010. Yeah. It's on the bottle, so I want that dope, man. I want somebody to see that 50 years from now.
It's funny because I thought of a question to ask, but I'll ask you towards the end, which it kind of relates to that.
Yeah.
But so EZBLADE. But so let's go back to like kind of separating your brand from. I guess you didn't even have to do that, because you already had created a brand, and then the other ones
I did separate. I did kind of separate myself. So what happened was because it was an influencer era, which is tough, because I was at a tough time, because the time when there was like all these brands sponsoring people, you weren't a cool brand if you didn't have influencers. So as an influencer, how do I get influencers? Because people I want to say they weren't respecting me, but there were people who wanted to be down with EZBLADE, like, oh, well, let me sponsor me,
Yeah, but like, what can you do for me?
What can you do for me? So people were in a state of mind where they want to be down with the big companies. They felt like there was some kind of, but meanwhile, the big companies were just draining people and using an influencer. Now everybody knows, and now they charge for influencing. You can't get an influencer for, let me send you some free products, and you got to pay these guys $100, $200 a post, maybe more. Some people. Yeah. You want them to do a video for you? $1,000. I'll do a video for you. It's not how it was. But so I had to separate my personal brand from the brand for the brand to take off, unfortunately. Because I was in an era where everybody was coming out with a pomade. Do you remember like 2012?
Oh, dude, of course.
Everybody had a pomade. No, it's not wrong with it though.
No, listen, but I know.
It became so watered
oversaturated.
Down. Yeah, so I was like, I can't do that. I can't be the guy with the product.
Yeah.
There's no way I'm gonna survive this, because I've seen people come out with their product and die. I'm coming out with this product, and they'll have a year run and 2 years runs and then gone.
Yeah.
I had to separate myself, but now it's cool to show yourself, because people they want to see who's behind it, what's going on, what is this?
See the face
now they don't longer like the big brand, so you have to change with the times.
Yeah.
Even though we became a bigger brand, now I have to come and show my face and say, hey, I'm.
So do you think? Like right now in today's, let's just say, barber / social media influencer world, do you think are we in that phase of like change? Because I feel like there's like some sort of like change.
And you have to change with the time. You have to change with the time.
There's like a change happening right now, right? And it's like, what do you think is changing, and what do you think we're headed towards?
I think we're just all in a confused time. That's what I mean. As for the barbering industry, everybody's just. I don't think people know where to go right now, because there's so much power. We asked for like.
In terms of like where to go, like.
You talking about influencer wise?
Influencer in the barber industry, and then just barbers itself within the industry.
It just seems confused. It just feels like everybody's doing the same thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's the vibe is, and it's not gonna say the vibe is gone, but the vibe is just a little less. It feels like we're all in a confused. But I think the world, that's the temperature of the world as well.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It just feels like confused.
No, I mean,
because first it was educators. It was all about the educators. Oh,
Yeah.
educators.
And then there was a wave of
Product line.
You know, barber battles, and then you had you know, you had the barber battles.
But then it was like, yo, I'm
here.
sponsored by so and so. Then it was
Yeah.
all about being sponsored.
Yeah.
That was a wave.
Yeah.
And now it's like, then there's a wave like everybody's a boss. That's what we on right now, kind of like everybody's a boss. Mm-hmm. But then the confusing part about it is because now everybody knows you're not a boss. We can see everything that you're doing. So you're putting everything, and it doesn't.
It's like
everybody's acting like a boss, but it's not.
On their bio, it's like you know.
I mean, it's still bosses. Don't let me. I don't want to sound like, but I'm just saying everybody has this. Not everybody. A lot of people have this state of mind where it's just this non-humble attitude for no reason. And we're kind of like. I just feel like sometimes we kind of pull ourselves down within this industry when we do that. You know,
I mean,
work together. You know, do stuff together.
I absolutely agree with you. I think. There's definitely I mean, there's a lack of a lot of things, to be honest with you. I mean, you even in the, I mean,
I don't have it all figured out. I'm just saying this is what I see.
No,
you know
of
what
course,
I mean?
I guess I'm just agreeing with you.
Yeah.
In terms of like the confusion, but also just the I mean, the fakeness or whatever you want to call it.
And I'm talking about as for mainstream barbering, not just barbers in general, because I love the barber industry is amazing.
Because you can see, I mean, you can let's just go into the fitness industry for a second, right? The fitness industry is kind of the same thing, but you're starting to see more and more collaborations. You know, at least I
watch the fitness industry a lot.
I'm starting to see people like it doesn't work for our benefit if we just
we can build together.
I mean? Exactly. So it's
everybody
like,
has a different set of skills. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And man,
what do you think? What do you think gets? I mean, considering everything, the world that we live in, and pre, post, whatever COVID, what do you think it's the one thing that kind of like holds barbers back the most?
As for in barbers in general, or like
just barbers in general, and then I guess you can kind of like talk on the mainstream
holds
level.
them back. I mean, I think barbers are, like I said, most slept on. They're making a lot of money. I think what holds them back from doing other things is not, like we said earlier, not paying the taxes or something like that. You know what I mean? Like just paying taxes and making it more legitimate for yourself. Because I tell my guys all the time, you guys are, you know, even though they pay commission to the shop and everything like that, these guys make pretty good money. I'm gonna be honest with you. But I always tell them all the time, I say, you guys are your own bosses. You guys are your own business. When you get that money, you know, you guys are independent contractors. You got to pay your taxes. You got to, and I always tell these guys are young. I'm like, the more money, the more you pay taxes, the more you can benefit from it. You could get more things.
Yeah, because you know, I think I'm starting to engage more and more with barbers, and people like starting to DM me a little bit more and more. You know, the more I expose myself.
I would just say like care about your customers and choose the right customers, because you shouldn't be frustrated. You shouldn't have to cut people you don't want to cut. Yeah, it's about, you know, making money and everything like that. But do that in the beginning, but as you get better and you're already like, I want to say, I don't know if it's
established.
You're established.
Yeah.
And solidified who you are and what you now you can kind of like choose who you want to cut and who you don't want. It's not, you don't have to suffer. You don't have to deal with the guy. I see you make videos like that. I talk about that all the time. You know, anybody know how to cut in hair? You know, like who knows how to cut, who knows how to fit. You don't have to deal with people like that. Deal with your customers, charge a premium, because now you're doing yourself a disservice. You know how to cut hair, you got skills, charge more money. Whoever doesn't like it, don't come back.
Why,
you know what I mean?
Why do barbers like lack confidence in charging more, or like raising their prices?
Some do, but now you got some that want to charge $100 a haircut, which is cool too. If you want to do that,
it's
that's
like
cool too.
The polar opposite.
It's exactly.
Like crazy.
Some people are scared to go up. You know? I made a video on YouTube how to make $100,000 a year. I made that like about maybe 2 years ago, and you should see the comments. Oh yeah, right. That's easy for you to say. That's not true. Like, what are you talking about? Like, you can make 100. Like you said, same thing you say. Same your program.
Pretty much, yeah.
You can make $100,000 a year, bro.
Oh,
like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
it's
which is big. I tell my guys, and I say, ask your customers how much money they make when they sit in your chair. These kids are young. I got young kids, like one's 20, 21. Ask them how much money they make when they sit in your chair. See how much money people make. Ask them how much you make a week. Oh, what do you do? Oh, you know, you're architect, you're this. Well, how much do you make? Oh, I make like $1,600 every 2 weeks. You know what I mean? Like, ask them. You making that more than that a week sometimes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. The you know the 75-year-old, barber, Italian barber with his little barber shop.
Keep sleeping on that guy.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, it's like, I mean? You kind of like fly under the radar.
I want to say in the beginning, I wasn't good. I didn't know how to do taxes. I was learning. I was young.
Yeah, of course.
And then once I started to realize came around the right people, I realized what you got to do to get things. You need things. You want to get houses. You want to get cars. You want to get.
Right.
You got to pay taxes. You got to get established.
That's dope, man. I mean? What are you currently doing with the brand, and like what are your plans as far as like, I know you extended a little bit. I think you have aside from the shaving gel. I think
we went into hair and beard products because people were just asking us. I wasn't going to go into. I was sticking with EZBLADE Shaving products. That's what we are. That's what we stand for. And then people just kept asking us about like hair products. You got a pomade? I was like, they're not gonna get a pomade. Everybody has a pomade. Same thing. Once that era cooled down, when everybody had a pomade, then we recently dropped the pomade like last year. We have a pomade and a clay and a hair powder last year.
That makes sense.
So I mean,
we
recently
kind of like wait until the wave is over.
We waited to the wave. Same thing with the beard. Remember, everybody had a beard balm, beard oil. We even waited. That was like 2 years ago. And I had my dudes that do like shows with us. He was like mad at me, like, you should have did the beard. I told you to do the beard a long time ago. He always used to tell me that. I'm like, he didn't really understand. Like, I don't want to be another like.
Yeah, you don't.
I want to stick to what we do and just make it good. Like they always say, Apple had like. Steve Jobs had like the iPhone, right? You go to their website, it's just like one thing you could choose from back in the day. So you don't want to have like 15, 20 things on your site. You want people, you want to concentrate on that thing and make that thing so good.
Yeah, you don't want to be the diner, right? Or you go to a diner, you see the menu and it's like.
And that's why people like the shave gel, because it's like we put a lot of, we manufacture everything at the warehouse. Everything's manufactured there. We have like mixing tanks and machines. I swear to you, bro. We have labeling machines and everything, bro.
So the products are made locally.
Made in America, right here in our warehouse, bro. Yes. Everything's made in our warehouse, bro.
Oh,
from the beginning.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. I thought this was coming from China.
No.
Or it was coming from like somewhere in the South.
If you listen to the advertisement or you look at the page, everything's made in America. It's made right here in our warehouse. That's what we always talk about.
So how did you come up with the formula?
No, I had a great guy. I had a great guy from California. So when I first started, I was buying it wholesale, right? We were still mixing it. But we would buy like we would have somebody do it for us at the time. So I met a chemist in California. I did my research, just like everybody else. Went to Google and I found a chemist that used to make products for American Crew and like all of these big companies. And I told him what I wanted to do. Like a
big lab.
Yeah. So you remember when like Shark Tank came out, and that's why we have so many entrepreneurs right now, because of the Shark Tank era.
Right.
I was already an entrepreneur, so all I needed was like the talk and the. I need to learn how it works, like I was just like a kid that just started a company. I didn't know anything. Once I started watching Shark Tank, I started learning like the different things you need to know and the phrases and this and that, and I started learning.
Like the business lingo.
The business lingo, there you go. That's why I was looking for the word lingo.
Yeah.
I started to learn the lingo and I started to understand things, and I started learning about manufacturing and and all this stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And Alibaba was a lot harder back then. Most of these people are getting products from Alibaba and they're putting it, relabeling it and reselling it. That's like my biggest thing I always talk about. So I met a nice guy, man. He was about like 60-something years old. I can't find him anymore. He retired. I wanted to buy him a car. I told him, when I blow up, I'm going to buy you a car, bro. What kind of car you like? He liked an Impala. And I was like, I'll buy you an Impala, bro, when I blow up. I swear to God. So then me and my wife took a flight to Cali, and we went and talked to him, and he just put us on the game. And we got a cosmetic chemist now that
How did you meet him though? Like at
on the internet, man. On the internet. I Googled it. You got to be hungry. And I just kept looking for somebody, and I found somebody that wanted to help me. I called 15 people, and everybody's just like, They talk to you like it's impossible.
But you called labs, and as like kind of
labs
asking
and like product lines.
Like I want to formulate a product. Like, can you work with smaller brands type stuff?
Absolutely.
I see.
And he said, you guys can do that yourself. All you need is a cosmetic chemist to come and just make sure everything's good. This is what we do. He manufactured. He told me all the big companies. He was naming names of companies that you know right now that he actually does their products, or his company. Somebody bought out his company. They have it now. He sold it, which was a great. He got older. Maybe he didn't have kids. I don't know. And he sold the company, and they're still working it. But I tried to get in contact with him. I'm like, I called them up. They're like, no, we can't give you that information. I'm just like, I don't want that from him. I just want to give him something.
Yeah, like,
you know what
appreciation.
I mean? Yeah, and yeah.
Damn, dude. So you.
I reached out.
So he pretty much formulated the original.
He told me how to formulate it.
Oh no shit.
I formulated it. played
That's
around
funny,
with
bro,
it.
because when I was making
I
my
formulated
pomades,
before I
was doing the
came.
same thing.
Everybody does. I formulated. I came to him with the formulation. Like, what do you think about this? He's like, it's great. He's like, when you make a hamburger, he said this. I'll never forget this. He said, when you make a hamburger, you can know how to make a McDonald's hamburger, but you won't know how to make a McDonald's hamburger. It depends how much seasoning you put in it, how much.
Right.
Depends what they use in it is gonna make it your own. So whatever you do to it is gonna make it different from everybody else's.
Right.
So I could tell everybody exactly what I did. I can give them the ingredients, tell them to do
But
it.
they won't be able to do it.
They can't make it. They can't make my hamburger. You could go make it. Tell me, bro, use salt, pepper, adobo,
I can give you the ingredients,
whatever you want.
but the
You
portions.
you don't know what I'm doing. You don't know how much of each I'm putting. What am I doing to make my shave gel so special?
No shit.
That's the
bro.
beauty of it.
That's
when
beautiful,
once
man.
he taught me that is when everything took off. And then, like I said, we have a cosmetic chemist that comes
This
by.
was when you met him. Was this after you already had started EZBLADE?
This is when I started EZBLADE because we were buying it by the bucket and then we were just bottling it up because it was kind of just like a test. Like I don't know if I'm gonna sell
So
this
you were
stuff.
buying it in
I was buying it.
wholesale.
I was buying
the
already
ingredients.
pre-made.
Oh.
No, they were already making it for me. They were charging me for a 5-gallon bucket. I was probably paying a lot of money for a 5-gallon bucket. Where right now it would cost me nothing to make, but before it would be like so much money to make. So I'm like looking at Shark Tank and all this stuff, and how can you get your costs down? Like when they start talking about that type of stuff on TV, you're like,
right.
You know, you start learning these things like, oh, how can I get my costs down? How can I get this? I'm buying stuff because you're just starting out. You don't know.
Yep.
But as things started to take off, I started learning this language. I'm like, wow, I gotta, you know. And then I just didn't stop until I figured it out. And I kept calling and calling. Same thing, like you watch these Shark Tank shows, like I said, they say you got to be consistent calling. It doesn't matter. There's no excuses. I've always been like that. But sometimes when you get the information, it just confirms to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's what happens.
Great,
yeah, it's
man.
crazy. So we still
That's
manufacture.
dope.
That's why we have a warehouse. You know, we have storage and we have manufacturing, and then like there's 2 offices.
How many are you pumping out?
I mean, like as for like, I got like 3 workers there.
That's dope.
Yeah,
Man.
and we
That's sick, man. That's good for you.
Yeah.
I guess before we wrap up and get into towards the end,
Yeah.
if let's just say a barber's watching this right now and they're like, "Yo,
Hopefully barbers are watching this.
Yeah, well,
or anybody,
yeah, right.
Or anybody. Or anybody.
I mean, we're making this for barbers, so. But you know, a barber's watching this and they're like, "That's dope, man. I'm inspired, motivated, whatever. I wanna take my barbering career to the next level,
Absolutely.
but I also want to get into the, you know, creating a brand, but also products, right? It could be any kind of product. We live in a different world, right? Creating products today is completely different than it was, you know, 10 years ago, 5 years ago. So it's much easier, but it's easier said than done.
Absolutely.
Right? When it comes down to the nitty gritty and being consistent, that's where, you know, the low level people just kind of fall off. What would you say, like if somebody came to me and be like, yo, like what can I do, bro?
I respect it, man. Whenever I'm in the shows, people come up to me all the time like, how'd you do it? I watched you do it all this time and stuff like that. And I want to say just go for it, but I want to tell anybody, and I want to say this because what I said before earlier in the interview, I don't have a problem when it was like this era where everybody was making stuff. I don't have a problem with people making stuff because that's how I started, right? You never know where it's going to lead. I don't want to knock anybody like, oh, you guys shouldn't be. That sounds crazy. I wasn't trying to sound like that. I just want to say that. But if you're going to do it, you got to go hard. You got to go hard. Absolutely hard. You can't just like stop doing things because it's cool. Like I said, everybody was coming out with something because it was cool. And you could tell they were coming out with stuff because it was cool because they were just posting it like, yo, the brand, like they were making it seem bigger than it was. Like just they have 10 bottles, you know, 12 beard oils, 12 beard creams. Like, yo, I started. Don't do that. You know, get out there, go to shows. You know, grind, and then and humble yourself. Like people were coming out non-humble with products. Like it was just the weirdest thing ever. Like, you know what I mean? Like everybody was like an established brand as soon as they had a label on a bottle, and that was the killer. That was the killer. But if you're gonna do it, go hard, go to shows, take it serious. Brand yourself correctly. Don't brand like you're better than everybody. And that's what people were doing. Like we have people come on our page, like leave comments like, oh, check out our shave gels, way better. And you just like go look at that page and like, who is this? What are you talking about? Why are you doing? Just like TikTok now. Yeah, that haircut sucked. You should have just. And it's like, if you want to cut hair, just go cut hair on your page. You go to your page just to see. Like, let me see what this guy must be good. You ain't here trying to learn how to cut hair, bro. Or you ain't here trying to learn how to start a brand.
Right.
Respect it. Don't come on somebody else's page and
like
don't do
completely.
that. That's what's wrong with
It's
people.
low class for
and
sure.
that's what's not. That's what I was talking about. Like people like that. There's nothing wrong with starting a brand. Or like I come from the bottom, so I can't even talk. I come from the bottom of everything.
Of everything, man.
So you know,
yeah, man,
I respect it.
dope,
I respect it from the bottom because we got it. I just said it. We got it from the bottom. We got it from we manufacture. We do everything. Now we here. You know. So it's
what's
like,
next for EZBLADE though?
Just growing, man. Just growth.
Do you see yourself in?
We don't want to go mainstream. If that's what you're saying. We don't want to go mainstream.
So I was gonna touch up on a brand everybody knows.
Yeah.
You know, Pacino's.
Yeah.
And I mean,
he's like in stores and stuff like that.
Yeah. So he blew up as soon as he know he was Target was carrying all their stuff and stuff. This was a while back. And you know, all credit to him. Whatever he did, you know, he's still doing his thing. But is that the route that you're trying to go?
Not. I thought we wanted to go that route. So I had to sit down with a couple big companies. I could have been in a couple big stores, not any of our main like Walmart, but like beauty supply stores. I could have been in there. So the thing with the beauty supplies, and I want to just tell anybody out there, they want not your wholesale price. They want it way lower than your wholesale price. You know what I'm saying? Now, again, respect to Pacino's, he's killing it. But it's just not for us. And we want to keep it how you saw it. You said, it looks like we kept our integrity. Like, I'm not saying he didn't keep his integrity. We kept our brand integrity. Like, we kept it.
I mean, listen, at the end of the day,
we want to go direct to consumer. Like, we want to service barbers. We want to be like that Barber brand. Like, you look at companies like Layrite. I don't know if they're in any big box stores. I don't want to say that. Companies like that. I like the way they look.
I don't know.
I like the way their brand looks. They mostly stick with like barbers. And I like that. So it gives it more of a. It's just more of a.
I mean, listen. At the end of the day, it's like you can tell. You look at a brand.
We don't want to be like to the masses.
The marketing.
We don't want to be to the masses.
Yeah, like you can.
So
tell,
if you look at our packaging, it's more of an old school. So we have people like that buy our products from like rustic barbershops. Like most of these, we like that old
brick
school
wall
feel. Yeah. So we didn't want that chic. Like, so if you look at most people that have like, if you look at our hair products now, you just see our logo, what it is. So most companies look like that. It looks too uniform. But for the hair products, we decided to go uniform because it's more of a uniform thing.
So how long have you had the hair product?
It's only been a year.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So we just came with it's been like a year and a half with everything total. So mostly just the shaving products has been like, but we want to just stay direct to the barbers, to the professionals. There you go, direct to professionals.
Got it.
We want to stay there. Like you look at what's the brand, the shampoo.
The shampoo?
The guy, what's his name?
The YouTuber?
No, the one that sells shampoo. What's his name? The big company.
Paul Mitchell?
Paul Mitchell. What does Paul Mitchell do? He doesn't sell it in Walmart or. He sticks more to like.
Oh, like you can only find it in salons.
Professionals. But there's nothing wrong with the big, but we didn't want to go big box because it's like.
It loses it loses a little of that.
And it's scary because you mess up. If you mess up, your brand is going to die. It's going to die as well. So it's just more of a marathon for us.
Okay.
More of a marathon instead of a race. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
You can still make the same amount of money selling less products.
Oh hell yeah.
Because you're going direct. So somebody's purchasing our bottle for $19.99. As opposed to us selling it to a big store for $1. Because they're going to ask you, why is this better than that? They're not going to respect you. Manufacture it, it's stronger.
Yeah,
your ingredients.
They
want the cheapest. Put in a bottle, bro. Just sell it to them. If you look in Christmas time, you'll see like beard oil. You can get a beard oil kit and like.
What was that brand that was like, it was all beard bombs. That whole like, there was a phase that like the whole like beard oil like. And they got a deal with Target. I don't hear them anywhere anymore, bro. I completely forgot what their name, bro. I used to see them at every barber show.
And then they switched. And
they got like they were all about, you know, big beards, like you know, like your stereotypical like you know, I got an axe. And I don't know what happened.
Because people like that, you know, because the guy that has a beard, the one who has a real beard, he's gonna want that real concentrated product, that real natural ingredients and It's just or you just grab some crap off the shelf, like the regular consumer is just gonna grab something off the shelf.
It's different clients, right? Dope, man, dope. Look, coming to an end. You know, with this interview, I would like to ask you some more of I guess personal questions, if you don't mind. I mean, it's not gonna be too personal, but you know, just kind of like jumping away from the barbering industry, the business and everything, and then we'll wrap up. But what does your life look like?
Outside my life currently?
Yeah, like outside of, I mean, I know business always is part of life.
Yep.
But I noticed you have a motorcycle, you got a beautiful classic car, you know, like what does your life look like, dude?
It's beautiful, man. Like I said, I'm living for my kids now. I got 2 little girls. I think it's 7 and 4 years old. I'm into real estate. So I own like a few I'm closing on a house soon, like next month. Another multifamily. Yeah, so I'm into like real estate, stuff like that. That's a headache. It could be. I just put myself in positions. I just go crazy and I just do stuff. But yeah, I have a lot of fun when I can, bro. Like I like to travel and yeah, I got the Harley and I got the old school Mustang, man. I just have fun and drive it, you know.
Fuck yeah,
Try to live as, you know, they say work hard, play hard.
I mean, exactly. You gotta use the money
My
somehow.
main focus is always like business because it's fun to me. It's not like I don't watch TV, bro. So like I'll go on YouTube and just learn something.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I don't know why. That's just me. I just don't watch TV. Like every once in a while I watch a movie or series. Like I watched, you know, with I don't even know, that new series, the one where they were like killing each other.
Narcos and shit.
I watch stuff like that, but it's just fun. It's fun for me to always build, bro. I don't know. That's it's just addiction. So it's not really the money for me. It's the accomplishment.
Right.
That's what I can say. It's never the money for me. It's always accomplishment. What can I get done? How can I do something else? Like even after this, like after I build this shop, I'm like, all right, what am I gonna do? You know what I mean?
Real estate.
Like what else am I gonna do?
Yeah, and then like just.
Like I want to open a juice bar. I want to like it's a bunch of different things I want to do, but I know I'm only one person, and you need people that are good too. So I'm looking for partners. That's what I have. That's my that's what I want. I'm gonna start finding like like-minded people like yourself or somebody like, yo, Jay, you want to do this? You know, I got 20,000. You got 20,000. Let's do this. You know.
Yeah.
So I'm into that right now.
Yeah, I mean that's.
But again,
dope,
it's the accomplishment. It's just for me to just. I don't know.
Yeah, because
I think it's a survival thing. I don't know what it is, bro.
Bro, I mean, look. At the end of the day, like I can relate on that. And she can attest to it.
Yeah.
The only time that I will watch anything is when we watch together.
Exactly.
Or
other than that, she probably thinks you're crazy. Like this guy's crazy.
Yeah, like I'm gonna go.
Of course,
I'm gonna go home and then do my live masterclass thing and be working until whatever 9:30.
That's a good thing.
9:30 p.m.
And those are the type of people I'm talking about. So if you're like that, then open up a brand, start a brand.
Yeah.
If you're like that, if you're not like that, man, just. Chill out.
Just cut hair.
No, seriously, cut hair. It's all right. Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, you can.
And I'm learning that.
Maybe there's a sense of pressure. Well, not maybe. There's definitely a sense of pressure too because of social media. Of like.
That's what I'm saying. Don't get caught up.
You have to do that. You have to be your own boss and whatever.
You don't have to. It's perfectly fine if you don't do that. You know, there's definitely a sense of pressure for that. But if you're not crazy like that, don't.
What and this would be I guess the last question before we wrap up. What kind of life do you want to leave behind for your kids? And
I just want them to be established, man. Like I guess wealth or whatever, you know. And they probably won't appreciate it when they get older, right? Because they growing up just getting what they want. They don't have the struggle. But I definitely want them to be educated and like just be straight. They're already straight, but it's like hopefully I leave something like they're like, damn, I want them to look back and be like, man, this dude really.
Do you want to leave like EZBLADE brand like behind way after you're gone?
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I want to do 50 years from now for sure.
It's dope.
I think because the long term. I look at products all the time. Every time I look at products, I look at I see stuff like that. So it's just the long run. How long is the Blades Arista? Was it Astros?
Astros.
How long? Those been around for a while, bro. I remember when I first started cutting hair. Like I said, 20 years ago. I remember those things.
Yeah. I mean, Enders has been around. Wall been around since
those guys. Of course.
1890 or something.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's the goal, man. It's just like I said, it's the accomplishment of it, like where they can look back and be like, damn, this dude, or just talk about me like, yo, this dude really. Yeah. It's gonna take longer than I think, right?
For sure. I mean,
years in. It's years in already.
Years in, and
And like I said, it's a marathon. It really is a marathon, though. Because people think it's gonna pop, and it's stressful when you want things to work the way you want them to work, but businesses.
Do you ever see yourself kind of just drifting away from like the barber industry?
I stopped cutting hair for 6 years and focused.
But you were doing the products.
Yeah, I was still in the industry.
But so you were still in the industry, but just doing.
But I wasn't cutting hair. Yeah. And I came back because of the creativity. I was missing the creativity. Like even like making content. Like I started off making content.
Right.
So I came back because even now I record videos. My guys told me the other day, like, we were just talking about you, bro. He was like, you don't even have to be here. Like, why you? And I'm just like, I love it, bro.
Yeah.
I'm laughing. I'm looking at them smiling. It's like when I ride a motorcycle. I just smile, bro. It's like when I'm doing content or I'm like, it makes me happy, bro. Like, so I got to be creative. I realized that's what happened when the 6 years that I stopped cutting and I was just doing the warehouse thing. I was getting out of work at 2 o'clock, 1:30, 2 o'clock. And I was bored. I was bored.
Had too much time on your hands.
Bored. No, for real. Bored. And that's why I got into motorcycles and classic cars because I was doing nothing before I opened up the shop. It sounds crazy, right? It sounds like.
Well, it sounds.
I mean, I still was working. I was working 24 hours in my head.
Yeah, your brain was working.
Yeah, I was on a laptop at 9 o'clock at night. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I was, but I was basically like physically retired, kind of, right? Because I would just go to the warehouse, have my guys till like 2 o'clock. Right. They'll come in like 9 o'clock.
I feel the same when I go on a really long vacation.
Yeah.
And I think 4 days.
You want to get back to it?
Yeah, because like after 4 days, it's like I feel like I'm missing something.
Or even having your studio that you say you have.
Yeah.
You're there, and you're like, all right, I'm cutting hair.
Like, dude, like
but I got to do something else. And you started creating content.
Exactly.
Like, no,
I'm like always, just always constantly just thinking like, okay, like what can I do? What can I do? What can I do?
So I jump behind a chair to build it up, to build up the shop, and maybe I'll jump behind another chair to build up another shop. Maybe I'll jump behind another chair to build up another shop. Listen, I don't know. That's the thing. That's the question. Will I keep going? But I've done a great job with this. I must say, I've done a great job with this shop. Like we got a great client base, and we always constantly book. I'm proud of myself the way I did this shop. People take it serious.
That's good.
They take the shop serious. They walk in here. We don't. There's no BS. We all wear button downs. It's like, it's what I wanted to do, but I wasn't in the right area the first time. And I just knew this is a beautiful area. You know, it's a little rough on the edges, but it's a beautiful area. It's
very industrial.
It's nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
So a lot of artists. There's a lot of art. A lot of artists. So it's a beautiful area.
Dope, man. Well, this is it. I mean, just to kind of wrap this up. Again, I just want to thank you for your time.
Appreciate you, man.
I think you should
hopefully help somebody, you know what I mean?
I'm sure it will, man. I'm sure it will.
I'm all about like spreading the knowledge as well, man. I think that's where people go wrong. They don't want to tell you anything.
Yeah.
That's how it used to be, right? Then nobody wanted to tell you anything.
Exactly. and just kind of you said something earlier where it's like, you reach out to these influencers or these people that have some sort of any type of influence, and I've reached out to a shit ton of people, man. I'm just like, hey, let's like, bro, simple as let's just jump on a live.
Well, that's where we going wrong, bro. Because if you want to build, we need to network.
Exactly. So
no matter what.
And they go on my Instagram account.
I hope you get 1 million views because of that. You know what I mean? Like just because.
I mean, listen, it's just a matter of time. I mean, I will.
I know you will.
You know what I mean?
I hope you get 1 million views on this one because.
Yeah, on this one.
And people saying, "Damn, I should have just reached," and now it's too late.
Exactly.
Because now you remember.
But that's
no.
But that's why it pushes me to make and like keep doing it because it's almost like a little like, oh, now you wanna get together. Motivation. Exactly. That's what it is. You gotta use this as motivation. Yeah. See, you still did it. You still kept going because you could have reached out to people and they could have said no. You could have been like, maybe it's not gonna work. Exactly. So I get all that, but nonetheless, man, congratulations on everything that you built. Appreciate it. I wish you nothing but success. Hope that we can. I'm sure that we will continue a relationship. Man. Definitely. And maybe create more content together. I'm with it, man. And yeah, man, and let's just keep pushing forward, keep doing our thing. I'm working hard to do my thing. I mean, you already have a very well-established brand, barbershop and product and everything. So that's dope. I appreciate you taking the time, and I had a great time, man. Definitely, same here, man. It was a good conversation. Yeah.